Well, I'm just gonna ramble. A lot of thoughts are moving through my head. Um, First one is wilderness therapy. I feel like they are tearing the soul out of it, and all that's left is a husk. And thankfully, the wilderness. For instance, regarding wilderness, like being fearless, like I feel like there's so many clients that I've done things that no freaking um, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. The director of like the therapeutic director. They wouldn't ever advise me to like meet a client at their pinnacle of rage. Like I know how to de-escalate. I know how to de-escalate probably better than almost anyone. The reason I say that is I've had so many um, like I loved fighting, but I had so many opportunities to fight as a kid, but I would de-escalate naturally. And like as an elementary school kid, I would just punch people in the face, but after that, I just would de-escalate things because I fighting isn't a game, especially when you see people now and they'll hit somebody after they're knocked out. It's kind of a kill or be killed thing. So it's not a game. And anyways, my point was I can do and be what I am because I can sense someone else's energy. And like honestly, that's who should be in the wilderness. It shouldn't be people that take the mandated vaccine. Honestly, nobody that's okay with that should be guiding. That's my opinion. Like it's okay if you believe in the vaccine and should take it, but believing it should be mandated for others, you're a POS, dude. Like there's a spirit in the wilderness, and that spirit is chaos and peace. And I believe you want to strip that from people. I don't know. And like I don't think most of these people are like, I'm gonna be bad. No. You make compromises. Whether it's to survive or grow, you do. And like there's no place for that in the wilderness. How are you gonna compromise? You're gonna compromise with the wilderness? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I think I got it all figured out. I'm gonna take a break over here. Just had someone come down in their Tacoma. Um, Pretty cool. Hopefully they don't do anything to my truck. And most people in the wilderness are awesome, which is nice. I wish that somebody would have shot that kid that shot the hikers in Utah recently. Sucks. But yeah, most of the people you meet out in the wilderness on a trail are awesome. And if you're not awesome, go away. Anyways, yeah, go back to the city. Cities suck. It's exactly where you belong. Stay in your sucky cities with your sucky people. Anyways, I'm grateful for how powerful the wilderness is. And the reason it's so powerful is it's natural consequences. Like that cannot be manipulated or contrived. Honestly, it's like get the hell out of the way and just process. That's all you have to do. There's so much spontaneity that belongs in the wilderness. There's so much natural that belongs in the wilderness. And the more that you get the healthcare industry into the wilderness, the more they want to quantify everything. The more liberal it becomes. And anything that requires an education, they just take it over. And so now you can be trained on the best thing to do in each circumstance and with each client with certain disorders. And like, damn, bro, my education is reading. I read a lot, but I've never had a formal education. Well, I went to college for like 1 year, and then after that, no formal education, self-taught and like everything. And it's also a bad thing because I just can't suck. I can't suck. What? I can't stand most people, so I'm self-taught in most everything. I'm just gonna figure it out through trial and error and studying. I mean, I do pretty good. I passed the 2 tests in Nevada for contractor's license the first time. I passed my test in Utah, but that one's easy. The first time. Yeah, anyways, going through school, the teachers were confused me. I'm a visual learner, not an auditory learner. And auditory learners are catered to, and especially college with lectures. Like, it just confuses me. But if you put that lecture in a book and I read it myself, I'll pass your test. I'll learn it. Yeah, so growing up, it was like these people confuse me. Shut the hell up. I'm just gonna read. And then I would just start doing my work as fast as I could so I could read the books I wanted to read. And back then, I would just read fantasy, but now I do a lot of finance and psychology books and self-help. There's been 2 people that I would learn from, and I would go into it trying to learn different things, but I think I would just try and go in with an open mind, period, which is nice. There are 2 people I would do that. I would let go of everything and be a sponge, and then after that, bring in my critical thinking and what I have learned and know. But I would trust them to open up. Yeah, and I think it's just because I have a strong power of discernment and they have a peace and I want to say stick-to-itiveness. They have endurance of just doing what they believe and moving forward. And I think part of the reason that I've been able to reach people that others may have struggled to is, number 1, I'm fearless. But number 2, I think I have very terrible potential and very great potential. And what's kept me from my terrible potential is I have no desire for power, only peace. And I think most people want power. And what's kept me from greatness, I suppose, is pleasure. And it might sound weird, but look at it as escaping pain. That's what's kept me from greatness. Escaping pain, and I think also being terrible at collaboration, not wanting anything to do with people directly. I mean, I love my family. I feel like I have a good relationship with my family. I love my friends. Even though I hardly ever talk to them, I feel like we can just pick it back up where we left off. I'm like that. Any of my friends that aren't like that, I just don't talk to them. And it's weird because they think I'm drama. But who's further from drama than me, man? Are you gonna escape everyone's energy, that high frequency, by fasting 72 hours and peaking a mountain? Man, I'm so dramatic. I don't know. My mom did call me the drama queen of the family, but I think it's for acting. I don't know. And probably a little bit of preparedness. I think I don't overdo that. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I have my gun. Just realized that. I had it right in front of those guys. I'm not trying to threaten anybody, but it's very uncomfortable. But I want to make sure I have it. One, because of the idiots that might come out here. And two, a mountain lion, and I have my dog. What else did I have? I think that's about it. Oh, it's kind of a heart shape. That's cool. I'm not carrying that. I love you, my wife, Keely. Just thought of you. I love you, Kaleo. I love you, Tiancum. I love you, Rannon, Bannon, straight out of a cannon. Roper! I love you guys. Yeah, I think that's about it. I fasted. I went to the top of the mountain. And I asked God to reveal himself. Nothing. And I don't know, like I said, I want to believe in a God. I think that's it's good. Whether he exists or not, it is a good thing to believe in a higher power. And I think most of you need it. Most of you suck. It's not, you're never going to be this, you're never going to live up to your potential because you care too much about pleasure. You care too much about how you feel in the short term, and you prioritize that. And if you could believe in a Jesus Christ or a God or whatever, then I think it really does help you to stop prioritizing your short-term satisfaction, to relieve yourself of the pain of your thoughts, of how you feel, whatever. Most of you need it. That's why religion is one of the most effective things to help people be better and stop being depressed. Also, exercise is freaking awesome. My higher power is my family. I've kind of embraced that wilderness therapy doesn't really want old school, but honestly, part of the reason I know that I'm right is because I know that the new school and the old school belongs there, because you're gonna reach different people. When you take all the old school out, what happens to those people that need to be reached by old school? And there's plenty of them, especially out in the wilderness. All these new school kids Most of them, I would say, end up going and getting a degree and embracing the system, while the more conservative, traditional, old school kids want to say F the system. But yeah, you're going to reach them. Figure out your recipe, whatever it is. And often, God is a really good piece. Like, I've come to the conclusion that when nothing else is strong enough, God will be. I don't believe in a God, but I think it's awesome to believe in a God. I wish I could, because it's so freaking powerful. We're these animals that have more conscious thought than any other animal in the known universe, and that's tough to reconcile. But if you can believe in a higher power, well, guess, like, look at AA, look at all the history of man. Like, who has survived? Oh, the people that believe in the higher power and gather together and believe it. It's still happening. Look at Islam. Look at Christianity. Look at the Crusades. Why did the Crusades happen? That's all history you can look into. But the people that gathered together, it's tribalism. And like the highest way for people to, or the most effective way for people to gather together is religion. There's a better word there I was thinking of, but yeah, believing in a higher power is huge. One last thing I want to talk about is your recipe. I think that's like what every freaking therapist should be teaching. And they shouldn't be giving you a freaking diagnosis. They should be telling you, or not telling you, helping you figure out, because this is something you have to figure out. What is the recipe for your life to be healthy and happy and moving forward consistently? Because if you can define that recipe, every time your life goes awry, well, guess what? Look at the recipe. What are you not doing consistently? That's it. Like, when you make huge mess ups, you're trying to escape pain. You're trying to use a temporary measure, a short-term temporary measure, to make you feel better about the long-term bullcrap in your life. So, if you create long-term measures to feel better, that are sustainable and make you happy and have meaning in your life, like, it's not rocket science. You don't need to freaking develop a diagnosis for all these different things. And the whole reason they've done it is so they can sell you pharmaceutical drugs. That's it. Like, that is the incentive. Like, I don't care what anybody wants to say. Like, if you if you create all these drugs, then you have to sell them. Like, and I don't think a doctor's like, my intention is to put everybody on drugs. No, that's the pharmaceutical industry's intention. And you are now a product of the system, doctor. Another thing, like, I have a few stories, I guess. There's there's quite a bit of fights in the wilderness. Um, like, usually the most aggressive people are the most insecure. And that was always fun to teach people, because I would let them get to the point that they're almost gonna hit each other, or sometimes I wasn't fast enough and it would turn into a physical altercation. I had to run to get in the middle or things like that. And thankfully, like, nobody ever got hurt. One time they had packs on, and I got between them and was able to put them both down without any bad incident. So that was nice. I just threw them back onto their pack like a turtle, both of them. Um, but yeah, like, even when things like that would happen after they're calmed down, there's like no better time to process. Like, how do you get somebody that is insecure and aggressive to the point that they can process it without actually getting them to extinction versus what I call it. They just build, 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 and then burst. And you only have, what, 60 days often to get to that point. And so, like, for me, it's like, let's just get there. Let's get there quick and let's process after. They can finally see what they've been doing their entire freaking life and can stop kicking bricks. Doesn't work. All right, this next story, it's a true story. It sounds like I'm tooting my horn, but anyways, it's just funny. I wish somebody else could tell it. But I was guiding with somebody that's more a laid back style, just let things happen. And like I think I'm like that, but there's lines and I try to ride the line up to where I have to intervene, I guess. But anyways, this one kid, he just had been a total turd the whole time he had been there. Like he had burned all his stuff the first day. Or maybe it was just the first week, or I don't know. But when I got there, my boss told me I was going to have a good shift because I had a total turd to work with. He was probably worse than any kid has been from the time he first got there. He was the worst we had ever had. And so it was like, yeah, send me there. Like, yeah, and it was fun. So I get there, his stuff's like in a fire pit, all burned, and I just come and I sit right next to him. I don't say a word. And he's like, what are you going to do? Make me whatever? I'm like, no, I'm just going to sit here and hang out with you, bro. We got nowhere else we can go, and I can't convince you of anything. Obviously, like, you're pissed. So I'm just going to sit here with you and make sure you're okay and that you don't do anything stupid. Um, but anyways, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at that. Just sitting with people in their crap and they can just be in it. But I'm not going to be in it too. I'll just sit there and read my book and I'll even ask you if you want to hear about it. And if you're open, I'll tell you about it. If not, eat a booger. I'm going to keep reading my book and learning and enjoying myself. But yeah, this kid got to the point like another story about him. He like wouldn't drink the water. He just refused to drink because like one creek looked a little oily next to this cottonwood tree, and he would just say, "I'm not gonna drink it" or whatever. And my style is I try to support the rest of the group, and like usually a kid like that is trying to take over the group and lead them in a negative way, and so I will destroy him, at least in the group's perception. Like, for instance, when he doesn't drink the water because it's so gross, I would say, you act so tough, yet you're not going to drink some water because it's icky. Quit acting tough, dude. You ain't tough. You ain't seen tough your entire life. So, anyways, then I create the perception that he's a wuss, which he's a wuss. Like, tough is not lashing out at people, tough is having grit, shutting your damn mouth, and like making things better. Anyways, so then he eventually gets to the point, and I don't think this was even the first shift. I think this was a few later because he spent a while in his crap. Um, this one kid liked to mess with him, and I would kind of let it happen because he needed it. Like he needed to be picked on a little bit, like to have his status poked at, not just by me essentially, but by someone else too. Um, oh, I got another story about that kid that was poking him too. Um, but anyways, so he was getting poked at. I don't know what it was happening. Like it wasn't inappropriate. So he chases him down, and I stand up and I step in between him, and my co-guide just sits there, Like he's taking a nap, I guess. I don't know. But I step up, step in between him and say, like, you can't touch him. Knock it off. And I think he was ready to beat him up. Um, so then this kid pushes me. But he pushes me and he steps back. And once again, my objective is to make him look like a fool in front of the whole group so that they see how stupid that is. They don't follow him and they don't be like him. So he pushes me, he steps back. He does it twice. And then I'd say, "Do you realize how stupid you look? You just pushed me twice and you stepped back." Now he really pushes me. And now I'm burning all over. I'm pissed. And I say, "Sit down." And so he sits down. And I say, "Lay down." And he lays down. And then I just went and I sat down in my chair. And my co-guide said, "I knew you had it." Anyways, I was pissed. Because there's that line, Like, don't freaking come at me aggressive physically. That's nuts. I'm going to tell some of my guiding stories. Mainly, I'm putting this together for my sons. And especially my younger sons are very interested in watching stuff that I do, which is cool. Probably because they aren't allowed to watch such entertaining stuff all the time. They're not TikTok cracked out like my oldest. IT income. One time, so something I would like to do is shadow a group, and I stay behind them. And typically, what I would do is stay within sight. I was working with adults. I still should have kept them in sight. They were cruising, and I was just busy talking. I liked the guide I was with. He was easy. He's easy to talk to. He's very intelligent. That's always nice when somebody's open and intelligent because you can talk about things and process them and both get smarter. It's really cool. But anyways, I got caught up in talking to him and just made a lot of assumptions. There was a canyon that we were heading to, and I had assumed it was in a particular valley, um, but it was actually in the next one. So I end up going down one valley, they end up going down another, and eventually we try catching up with them, and we can't catch up with them. And I'm like, "There's no way they're ahead of us. They must have accidentally gone down this other valley that was actually the correct valley." So I tell my co-guide, "Just wait here," and I run pretty much over a mountain into another, like up and down the mountain to the other side to get them. I find them, and when I get there, one had picked up a rock to like kill another client because they were arguing. And like I get there right as this is happening. And I'm like, "Knock it off. Put down the rock." It was craziness. And then I'm upset with them. And I tell them they're in the wrong valley. So then we hike back to the other valley to get my co-guide. Come to find out, I was wrong because I had assumed that we were going to do a canyon, and I had assumed it was in the canyon in the valley I was going to, but it's actually in the one over. I just had assumed because I had been there in that valley that canyon was there, but anyways, I messed up, and I hate messing up. So anyways, I was more pissed at me than they were at me. So like them being pissed at me especially after their behavior, it was, I don't know, I wanted to smack the hell out of one of them because he wouldn't apologize, like he wouldn't resolve anything at all. Um, but anyway, so then we all go back to the other one, and I apologize to everybody. And we get like halfway over there, and then somebody forgot the shovel. So then, thankfully, my cool co-guide runs back with one client to go grab the shovel with the client that had forgot the shovel. Because I'm freaking tired at this point and I'm frustrated, but I was willing to do it because I feel like everything is my fault this day. So, anyways, we go to where we're supposed to. We get there and everything's fine. And yeah, I was super pissed. I'm still pissed about that. It's probably my biggest mistake ever guiding. Could have gone really terrible. I think it was 10 miles after adding it all up, what I did. And the original plan was for me to camp and do 4 miles just from the bottom of the Wawa High Point to the top and back. I was supposed to camp at the base, but I ended up camping much further away. I don't know, I'd say 10. And that's a very conservative. I don't like the inflating bull crap. But I'm beat. Um, Not the hardest hike I've ever done, even with the fasting. But it's not often I bend over and hold my knees and I feel like the world's spinning. That happened. I think it's a combination of things. I was trying to push myself. I feel like I did. I don't know if I pushed myself enough. But I'm trying to be safe because I'm so freaking far away. And I don't want anybody to save me. And my mom, I have a mom. She's awesome. She worries about me. My wife doesn't worry about me. She knows I'll be okay. Alright, so now no more eating until 5 p.m. tomorrow. And that'll be 72 hours. I'm going to count it because I peaked. So I earned the tuna and the pickles even though I don't know. I'm a little frustrated. Didn't seem like it did anything because right after that I had issues that I won't keep saying. But if anybody, I mean, everybody knows that sucks. But now imagine you've fasted almost 48 hours and then that happens right after you have a little bit of nourishment and you're like just went up 1,000 feet in elevation. Yeah, anyways, so I want to make it to 72 hours. I'll eat dinner tomorrow. Well, I don't know why that happens to me, but it seems like at 48 hours when I fast, I get explosive diarrhea. But I think it's my body expelling the waste, the toxins or something. I don't know. But I could feel it coming on before I peaked that mountain. But it was like my stomach would hurt, like I need to use the restroom, and it would go away really quick. But I was just hiking through it till I got to the top of the peak, and then coming down, it was like, okay. Um, I had to like literally throw my pants down, and like got on my boots. It's pretty bad. I don't know if I'm gonna put this in there. in my video. But I don't know if people want raw and authentic or just hunky dory. I'm back. I made it. It's almost 3 o'clock. I didn't realize most of it was up on the way there, and most of it was down on the way back. But my brain's not working too well. I think the food did help. I can't imagine eating 10 pickle slices caused it. Like I said, my stomach seemed to be feel super bloated all of a sudden and then go away. But then on the way down, it just was bloated but gonna come out. What would I have done differently? Nothing. Maybe there's a way to get closer from the other side. I don't know. I didn't do enough research. I let Google bring me to the trailhead, but it did send me on some 4x trails. One really bad one that I made it through, thankfully, because it's always like you can't really turn around on 4x trails. You can go back sometimes, but anyways, I did one sketchy one, and then I got to here. I was like, I'm done. I'm like an hour and a half to 2 hours from the highway I came in on. I hate being saved. That is not something I will risk. And nobody I know has a 4x. I don't have very many friends. I need to get a 4x. I know. But I think I'm doing all right managing my finances. So maybe someday. We'll see. Um, Dante, what do you think? Dante, what do you think? Did you have fun? Was it everything you thought it would be and more? I don't know if he's happy. He's not fasting as much as me. He ate this morning and yesterday morning, and usually eats twice a day. And then he's going to eat tomorrow night. So this is going to be his longest stretch because he ate this morning. He had a little bit of tuna, and then he'll eat tomorrow when we get home. I'm running out of space on my phone. I think this is the last video, and then I'll end up having more because I'll delete them all. I didn't drink coffee today. That made it pretty hard. No caffeine. All right. Goodbye.